Clue, 1985 mystery comedy starring Tim Curry, based on a popular board game called in some countries Clue, in some other countries Cluedo. In the game, the players are locked in a mansion and have to figure out which of the 6 characters committed a murder, with which murder weapon and in which room of the house. And that's pretty much exactly the premise of the movie as well, with some character background and details added here and there. In general, though, it's pretty simple with a fair amount of comedy and gags added in on top of that. Perhaps the most unique thing about the film was its multiple endings. So when it was first released, it had 3 endings shot, and each movie theater would randomly get a different film roll, meaning that you could go see the movie in 3 different places, 3 times in 3 different movie theaters, and get a different ending each time. Seemed like a pretty cool idea. Unfortunately, this didn't really catch on. Audiences were not particularly fond of the idea of paying multiple times to see the same film, and it ended up bombing in theaters, only finding a cult following in later years, thanks to the home video releases that of course included all 3 endings edited in a sequence. And I mean, I like the film. I can see why it has developed this cult following, why it was appreciated by people over the years. Some of the gags are really funny. Tim Curry is brilliant in the central role. The character interactions are entertaining, and the movie has a very warm, cozy vibe to it, despite being a murder mystery. I will say it takes a bit of a while to get going. The beginning seems like the film is still sort of figuring out what tone it wants to strike, whether it wants to establish itself seriously or go for straight up humor. And only in the second half, once it does make a decision, humor it is, it really finds its footing and becomes quite fun. Lots of little details here and there, well-designed set and costumes, solid and funny performances. I mean, it's not an extraordinary work of art, but it manages to be very entertaining as a film equivalent of comfort food.